Last year it was Brandon Ingram, Luka Doncic, and Gordon Hayward that were some of the most obvious surprises at the start of the season. Every year we have them, and this year is no different. So that's what we're talking about in today's video. So if you guys like my content, make sure you like and subscribe. 2021 is just around the corner. Let's try to get 21 likes on today's video, and let's hop into it. I think we've got to start this off with Markelle Fultz. Man, does seeing him succeed make me happy. I can't imagine the mental journey he's been through since being drafted with the #1 pick in 2017. It took a while, and while he isn't exactly the player we thought when he went #1, he looks great, and that $60 million contract extension from the Orlando Magic just might have been a steal. In his first 2 seasons playing for Philly, it was ugly. He only played 33 games and averaged less than 8 points on terrible efficiency. This really sucked for fans, given all the hype after the team had 2 emerging stars in Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, and were somehow able to get the consensus top prospect in what was a pretty strong class. He then ended up going to the Orlando Magic this past season, where he looked solid throughout. He averaged 12 points and 5 assists a game, but so far in his first 3 games to start this season, he has looked great. We're dealing with a very small sample size, so by no means is it a guarantee that he can keep these numbers up for the whole season, but that's the case with every single person on this list. But right now, he's averaging 27 points, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds, shooting 49% from the field. The 3-point shooting has a ways to go, yes, but the confidence is coming back, and I think Orlando fans have a lot to get excited about. Some saw a Markelle Fultz breakout coming. To be honest, I really didn't, but the next guy I definitely did, and that's Christian Wood of the Houston Rockets. I really felt that Wood was one of the biggest steals of free agency. We all know he was pretty good in just about every aspect of the game. The only question was whether or not he actually had high volume potential, but it's looking like he just might. Yes, he's benefiting from the absence of guys like DeMarcus Cousins and John Wall, but you can't argue that he's more than stepped up to the plate. And while when these guys return, that might reduce his share in the offense, I still expect him to be on the court 30+ minutes a game for the remainder of the year. And with what he's shown, I think they are going to try to get the ball in his hands. To start the year, he dropped 31 points and 10 rebounds on 14 for 22 from the field. He followed that up with a 23-point performance where he went 4 for 5 from 3. He's the real deal and just might be the early favorite for the most improved award. Next up, we've got another top pick from the 2017 draft, Josh Jackson of the Detroit Pistons. Jackson was the 4th overall pick by the Phoenix Suns, and despite displaying some great potential at times, just 3 years into his career, he was in the NBA G League. Now, I always felt this was a little excessive. Just looking at the amount of opportunities guys like Michael Kidd-Gilchrist have been given, I really thought there was more to see from Jackson, and it really looks like that just might be the case. The Detroit Pistons decided to take a shot on him this year, and I loved that decision. This team sucks. They had nothing to lose, and so far, through 3 games, he's averaging 17 points and 6 rebounds, shooting 54% from the field and 35% from 3. This includes a 27-point performance against the Atlanta Hawks. Now, Blake Griffin and Derrick Rose were out, but nonetheless, it's really looking like Josh Jackson's place in the league is well deserved. Do I think he's going to average 17 points for the rest of the season? No, but man, am I excited to see what he does. Now, we absolutely have to talk about this young Cavs duo, that being Darius Garland and Colin Sexton. Everyone was so confused a year ago when the Cavaliers decided to use their top selection on a point guard in Darius Garland when they already had Colin Sexton. And while looking long term, there might be a lot of concerns about the upside of this duo. For right now, they look very, very good. Colin Sexton is a guy that if you guys have been following my channel, you know I've never been high on really at all, but it's looking like that might need to start to change. In just his 3rd season, he's now averaging 27 points and 4 assists on incredible efficiency. He looks like the real deal and is flat out fun to watch. He brings that Russell Westbrook-esque energy to the basketball court. His running mate Darius Garland, a guy that was getting written off by many after his rookie season this past year, also looks incredible. Now, I had a feeling this was coming, so I put my money where my mouth was and loaded up on his rookie cards going into this season, and so far, he's averaged 19 points and 8 assists, shooting 55% from the field and 50% from 3. Aside from the defense, my biggest concern with this backcourt was who was going to be the playmaker for this roster, as neither player had really been known for that up until this point. But it's looking like Garland is emerging as that guy for this team, and man, is his upside through the roof with what he can do on the perimeter. This duo looks great. Their first rounder, Isaac Okoro, looks solid, and we're still yet to see their other first round pick from last season, Kevin Porter Jr., take the court this season, and he's one of my favorite young players in the whole league. This team is 3-0 to start the season, and while I don't expect them to even be a playoff team, Cleveland fans have a lot to get excited about, and I really didn't think I would be saying that this early on into the season. Next up, I want to mention Duncan Robinson. I think we need to stop looking at him as just one of the best shooters in the league, but as a possible future star. The narrative that you can become a star in this league from off-ball shooting has not gone away, despite the success of Klay Thompson, and Robinson has very similar offensive potential. He averaged 13 points this past season as a 45% three-point shooter. This season, through 2 games, he's averaging 19 points, shooting 53% from 3 on almost 10 attempts a game. Now, he's not that young. He's currently 26 years old, but I expect the volume to increase this year, and in my eyes, he's one of the most intriguing free agents going into next summer. He's going to be a restricted free agent, and I truly think the Miami Heat need to do everything in their power to keep him around. Bam Adebayo is already one of the best defensive players in the league, and he's quickly expanding his offensive game, and Tyler Hero looked like the real deal as a rookie. This team just went to the NBA Finals. They locked up Bam Adebayo and have control of both Hero and Robinson's future. They are going to be a feared team in the Eastern Conference for a very long time. Now I want to mention Myles Bridges. Man, am I glad to see him breaking out. Bridges was one of my favorite prospects in the 2018 draft class. I would say it was neck and neck with him and Luka Doncic. I had the Suns as winners, not forgetting Ayton, but managing to get Myles Bridges. I hadn't seen a more ideal role player prospect, I think, ever. While he's been a very solid 3-and-D guy to this point in his career, his lack of volume has caused him to not get much attention, but that might be starting to change. So far this year, he's averaging 16 points, shooting 53% from the field and 45% from 3. This is not a guy that has crazy upside, but this is exactly what we want to see from him. On paper, this team looks amazing. A backcourt of Chris Paul and Devin Booker, the #1 pick from 2018, DeAndre Ayton at the center position, and 2 of the best 3-and-D wings in the whole league, Cam Johnson and Myles Bridges. The roster construction is absolutely beautiful. The only thing I think could have made it better was them actually taking Tyrese Halliburton when they should, so they don't have to give Cameron Payne 18 minutes a game. But hey, what do I know? Next, I want to talk about the Indiana Pacers duo of Damonte Sabonis and Victor Oladipo. Sabonis is breaking out in front of our eyes. He has steadily improved every single season since entering the league. This past year, he averaged 19 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 assists a game. This season so far, he's averaging 24 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 assists, shooting 57% from the field and 45% from 3. He doesn't get talked about much, but that's all about to change. Like his father, he's one of the best playmaking bigs in the NBA, and with him quickly improving as a shooter, the Pacers just might have found their guy for the future. To make things better, he's locked up till 2024 on an incredible deal. Then you've got Victor Oladipo. I was paying very close attention to how Oladipo looked this season. I didn't know if we were going to see the same Oladipo from last year, fresh off injury, or if we're going to see a bounce back 1 year removed, similar to what we saw with Gordon Hayward, but it's looking like the latter. So far, he's averaging 22 points on great efficiency. So considering the upside we saw from TJ Warren in the bubble, the breakout of Sabonis, and the return to health of Oladipo, this is going to be a fun team to keep tabs on throughout the season. Lastly, we got Lou Dort of the Oklahoma City Thunder. I've been trying to tell y'all, for the sake of the league, we can't allow the Thunder to look this good. Now, I don't think the Thunder have a shot at the playoffs or anything like that, but this team looks much better than I think everyone anticipated, and they're going to be a tough team to go up against on a nightly basis. A big part of how good they have looked is their undrafted signing from last year, Lou Dort. Man, is this guy fun to watch. He looks like he should be out there on the football field, but so far this season, he's averaging 21 points, shooting 55% from 3. Again, I don't expect this volume to stay where it is, but with the shooting and toughness he brings to the court, I think he's going to be a great piece of this franchise for a very long time. With their other pick from last year, Darius Bazley, looking pretty solid in his increased role, and the additions of George Hill and Al Horford, this team is going to be weirdly good again. I really wanted to see Shea go back to being the primary ball handler. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case, but nonetheless, I'm excited as a Thunder fan. I really didn't expect to enjoy watching them play this season, but at the same time, I am hoping we can still keep these Cade Cunningham hopes alive. But that's the end video, guys. You guys tell me your thoughts in the comments below. If you liked the video, make sure you like and subscribe. And the shoutouts are gonna be Richard, Tyler, Hoop, Jonathan, and LeBron. If you guys want to shout out in the next video, all you gotta do is like the video and comment like, rep notification squad, or be one of the first to comment on the videos, and I'll shout 5 you guys out. With all that being said, hope you guys have a great day, and peace.